Shwai ffrindiau, hello there and welcome back to the latest episode of Adobe Creative Club. So in this episode we are going to be carrying on with our social media video project that we started last week in episode 6, and we're going to be learning how to use some higher level video editing skills to take our basic video edit that we created last week to the next level. Okay, let's jump in. So here we go. I'm back on Adobe Express. Here's my project. So let's recap what I did in the last session. You can see here I've got 3 scenes. Down at the bottom, you can see scene 1, which is this, a blurred out walking through the mud video. And in front of that, so above it in the layer stack, you can see here I've just got my logo. That's the logo I created back in episode 1. Now then, if we move on to scene 2, here's the video, this river video that I've got, and I've just got a simple text box in front of it saying looking for adventure. There it is. And then scene 3, I've got this video of people hiking on a mountain, and then I've got 2 layers above it, one text box saying visit us, and the other layer is my logo once again there. Now then, after I did that, if you remember, the next thing I did was I added my voiceovers. And you can see my voiceovers here. That's what these blue bars underneath the video layer is. So I got the video layer here, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. And underneath each one, I recorded my voiceover. Okay, and then the final thing I did in the last session was I added these transition effects between each scene, and you can see here that I've used the push transition effect. And if I play the end of scene 1, you'll see that the beginning of scene 2 pushes up from the bottom like this. James, are you looking for your... There we are, you see, and then when I move from scene 2 to scene 3, it pushes from the left to the right. Okay, so let's jump in and add some higher level, some more pro skills to our project. We're going to start off with animation effects. So let's go back to scene 1. Now then, animation effects really work best on upper layers. You can't really use animation effects on the bottom layer, kind of your background layer. So in this first scene, I'm only really going to be able to add an animation effect to my logo. Okay, so if I click on my logo, you'll see on the left-hand side that I get my normal options, and right at the bottom, it'll say animation. Now, when you choose your animation, you will get 3 options: in, looping, and out. And what that really means is how it appears, how this element arrives on the screen. Looping means what it does whilst it's there, staying still, and out is how does it leave at the end. Okay, now you can see here, I've turned show layer timing on. So I can see this is my logo here. This is just my whole scene, but this blue bar on the top is my logo. Okay, now, first of all, let's try a looping effect. Let's go for the middle here. Okay, what do I want my logo to do whilst this scene is happening? So I could have it bob, as if it's on the sea. Breathe. Okay, and you can see I can just hover over these effects. I don't need to click anything. I can just hover on them and it'll give me a cool preview of this effect. Okay, so I've just previewed them all, and you can see there's 9 looping animation effects at the moment, but there are more coming soon. I think I'm going to go for jitter. I think that looks cool. Yeah. So I'm going to click on jitter. Now, once you've added that effect, you see I've added it. It's there now. My looping animation is jitter. If I wanted to get rid of it, I can just click on that dustbin icon to get rid of the animation. But I can also choose how fast I want it to jitter. So if I bring that down, you see it's jittering quite slowly. And if I bring it right up, it's jittering really quickly. Okay, it was about 3/4 of the way as a preset. And then the intensity here is how far does it move when it jitters. If I turn that right up, this toggle all the way to the right, you'll see that it's going to jump around a lot. And then if I bring it down just a little, then it's just going to jitter a little bit. Okay, So that is all up to you really, what you want, how you think it looks best. I'm going to go for quite a small intensity and quite a fast jitter on that. That works well for me. Now, if I play my scene, okay, if I bring my playhead back to the beginning, hit the space bar.
Shwmai, croeso, welcome to Gwalia Green Game.
Cool. So you can see there now that my logo is kind of jittering as that scene goes on. So what are these other two then? Well, if we add an in animation, our logo is not actually going to be there at the beginning of the scene. Okay, it's going to arrive on screen in some way. So let's see what we can do there. Let's click on to add an in animation. Now then, if I hover over Bungee, okay, it's going to drop in like that. Drift, it kind of fades as it drifts in. Drop, grow, it can flicker in, fade, pop, rise, shrink, tumble. That's cool, I like tumble. Spin is cool as well. And slide. So I got a lot of options there. I'm actually going to go for shrink, I think, because I like the way that it starts off so big that I can really see the logo right at the beginning of the video. So let's go for that. And now you'll see that the options that I get here are different. And the options are going to be different depending on what kind of animation you've chosen. Okay, so here I've got two options. I've got a duration and personality. Okay, so duration is really kind of the speed, because if it takes longer for it to shrink in, it's going to have to shrink in slower, isn't it? So if I make that 2 seconds, it's going to take a long time.
Shwmai, croeso, welcome to Gwalia Green Game.
I mean, that worked quite well for me, but let's take it down to half a second. Okay, let's take it, there we are, around half a second. And you'll see, yeah, it's going to kind of slam in more.
Shwmai, croeso, welcome to Gwalia Green Game.
And again, either of those really works. Now then, personality. Now, to be honest with you, I've messed around with these and I can't really see that it makes a huge difference. I think the differences here are quite subtle. Okay, the difference between soft and smooth is not huge. And I was actually going to experiment with these and put the same thing side by side and animate them all with exactly the same animation and just change the personalities to see if I can see any difference. And there's not a massive difference. There is a difference there between loud and soft, but I don't think that's going to really affect your video that much. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's play.
Shwmai, croeso, welcome to Gwalia Green Games.
Now then, at the moment,
Are you looking?
there we are. Our whole scene goes away with this transition between scenes. Now, I think that works very well, but if you wanted to, you could actually have your logo leave the screen before the transition. Okay, so if I click on the logo, I could add an animation in there again. Okay, animation out. So I had shrink, so I could shrink away there. Okay, and if I hit play, you'll see that it shrinks away.
Shwmai, croeso, welcome to Gwalia Green Game.
Here we go. There.
Are you looking for your...
Okay, now, I maybe think that just makes it all a bit look more untidy. So for mine, I'm going to get rid of the out animation. Okay, so I've got the shrink in, jitter whilst it's there, but I don't want it to shrink out. So I'm going to just click on the bin and get rid of that. So you don't have to add all of these animations. Okay, right. Now then, let's see our next scene then. So here we go, scene 2. So again, I'm going to animate my upper layers. So I'm going to leave my lower one alone. If I click on it, yeah, it does give me an option for it. Let's see what happens if I try and animate my back layer. Yeah, you see, you're going to see the white page. Or obviously if I had a coloured background or a colour, then Yeah, for me, I don't like seeing the page behind that video. So that doesn't work for me. But, you know, you feel free to, I suppose shrink kind of works because, yeah, we don't see the edges of the page as much. No, it's not for me. I'll tell you the truth, guys. I don't like how that looks too much. So I'm going to leave the animation on the back layer every time. So the lowest layer I'm going to not animate and animate the layers in front. Okay, so here's my text box. Click on animation. How do I want this to arrive? Let's go for one of the crazy ones, I think. Tumble it in. Yeah, I love that. Okay, tumble that in. Yes, allow. Tumble. So I've got some options here. How long do I want it to take? So if I slow it down, it's going to tumble in slower. That's cool. How much I want it to rotate. Okay, how much I want it to spin. Whoa. Or not much. There we go. And then you could also change the direction of it. So at the moment it tumbles from left to right. It goes right. So if I choose the other way, it's going to tumble in that way. Okay, I think I preferred it the way it was. So I wanted to tumble in like that. And then, okay, well, we're on the river, so I think it should bob as if it's floating. But I'm going to turn the intensity down and maybe the speed down as well, because I don't want that to be too crazy. I'm going to bring the intensity down even more. Yeah, I think that's going to work really well. Let's have a look at that scene then.
Are you looking for your next big adventure in Wales? Come down to
Yeah, that's really cool. Again, I don't think I need to animate it out. I like the way that the transition actually takes us to the next scene. I don't think that I need my text to leave before we transition. But one thing maybe I'd like is for the looking for adventure to maybe arrive a bit later. Let's play it.
Are you looking for your next big adventure?
Yeah, so if I want it all to happen later, okay, if I click on my text box, I can actually trim the beginning of this layer. So now it's not going to appear, it's not going to start animating until that point. Okay, so let's see what effect that has.
Are you looking for your next big adventure in Wales?
You see? So you can delay the start of the animation by trimming it like that. And if you had animated it to leave as well, okay, and the reason I can't see it there is because it's not selected. The dots are showing me that something is happening there, that we've got timings that aren't lined up with the rest of the scene. But for me to see what those are, I need to click on that layer. Okay, and then you can see, I can see the actual bar there for the layer. If I come back here, there we go. I haven't tried this. If I click on the dot itself, does that? Yeah, that actually brings it up as well. Okay, so if you see dots, you can click on the dots and it'll tell you what's happening. Okay, so I can go to my final scene then. So I've got this Visit Us Gwalia Green Games. So again, let's get the Gwalia Green Games animation in. And what are we going to do? Let's go for something different. What about pop? Yeah, I like pop. That's cool. And I'm going to go for a big pop. Yeah, that's cool. Personality. So you see you've got fewer options here. Only soft, strong, and loud. So I'll just go for loud. Okay, and then what about the text? So let's click on the text. And let's animate the text as well. Okay, in. And it's going to, so am I going to get that to pop as well? Yeah, maybe we'll get that to pop as well. So at the moment, they're both going to pop together.
Come down to Gwalia Green.
Yeah, and that wasn't very obvious, was it? So,
come down to Gwalia.
You're right. So let's have a look at these timings. So I'm going to bring the logo, click on the logo first. And let's just bring that animation back. Okay, so I'm just trimming back the logo so it doesn't appear until we've kind of settled into the scene, and then it can pop. And then I'm going to do the same with the Visit Us. So click on Visit Us. But for Visit Us, I'll have it arrive a little bit sooner. So you can see there, when I'm trimming, that dot over there, that's when the logo is arriving. So I'll have this happen right between the beginning of the scene and when the logo arrives. So I should have the visit us and then the logo pop up one after the other. Let's have a look.
Come down to Gwalia Green Games to find...
Yeah, isn't that cool? And really, I want Gwalia Green Games, the logo, to arrive when I say the word Gwalia Green Games.
Come down to Gwalia...
There's Gwalia. Okay, I stopped it with a space bar when I was saying the word. So let's actually trim the logo back to that point. Play.
Come down to Gwalia Green Games to find your...
Cool. And what do we want them to do whilst they're there? So let's click on that. Animation. Looping. What do we want it to do? Maybe we want it to... yeah, I quite like this flicker. Is cool. A flicker there. And maybe I'll go for a different effect for the text. Now, it's difficult to click on because the logo's in front of it. So remember, you can always click on layers in the stack instead. Okay, so I've clicked on that and I'm going to add my looping animation there as well. Okay, so I'm going to choose one of these. Okay, they're not loading up right now. So I'll just hover. There we go. I got wiggle. Yeah, I'll go for wiggle. I'll go for different animations and see how they work. Okay, so let's hit play again. All right. Ooh, I didn't hear my audio there. No. Okay. I'm not hearing my sound here now. Maybe I need to refresh the page. But, oh, there we are. It's coming back. It's coming back.
Come down to Gwalia Green Games to find your Welsh adventure.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. Now then, let's see what we want to happen at the end. So right at the end, maybe I'd like to fade this all to black. Okay, so what I could do is I could click on my video here, okay, and add an animation to my video, an out animation, and I just want it to fade. Yeah, like that. Okay, it's going to fade. I need to set my background color to black. So now when I get to the end here.
To find your Welsh adventure.
Cool. Now what happens with these, with the text and the logo? Well, the text, I just want to go away. So I'll go out. And what about it popped in? So yeah, why doesn't it? No, I think I'll go for a rise. So it just kind of flies up. Yeah, flies up. And I want that to happen quite quickly. Okay, and go for it. Yeah, but then the logo, I want it to kind of grow at the end. So out, I want it to grow. Yeah, I want to see it. Okay, and we go for energetic. Okay, let's give this a whirl and see how this ends.
Your Welsh adventure.
That's quite messy. I want let's get the visit us to leave sooner. Visit us. Okay, so I'm going to click on visit us in the layers and I want to bring that back. And then let's click on Gwalia Green Games. I'm not convinced with the grow animation. Maybe we need to change that. Let's go for a different animation. Let's go for, why doesn't it fly off to the right maybe? So we'll go, can we drift to the right? Yeah, we'll drift to the right. Let's try that.
Welsh adventure.
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe I'll just bring it back a little bit as well.
Games to find your Welsh adventure.
Yeah, I like that because it kind of draws your eye right at the end. Okay, music time. So let's get some music on here. Now then, to add music, so all we need to do is click on media. And when we're on media, we can go to audio. Okay. And in here, we can search for our music, and you can search however you want. So you can search for acoustic. Okay, acoustic music, and that's going to give me 151 results. I could look for folk music, folk. It's going to be 140. I could say folk, and I could say exciting. Folk exciting. 4. You see, so if you add the more adjectives you put in here, okay, it's going to narrow it down for you. Let's try this, greatness ahead. That sounds perfect. Okay, so I'm going to click on that, and what it's going to do, you've just seen there, it's just added it for my whole video. Okay, now at the moment, there's no way to fade out at the end, so it is just going to stop when we get to the end of the video. But it's fine, it sounds great, but I'm sure that Adobe are going to look at maybe adding some more cool things we can do with audio. The one thing you will immediately need to do, though, is turn this volume down, because at the moment, the volume's at 100%. And what's going to happen is, at 100%, you're not going to hear my voiceover at all. Have a listen. Welcome to... Okay, it's just a mush. So I've found that really the music needs to be down, you know, around the 10%. Okay, no more than that, really. So I've dropped that down now to 10%.
Shwmai croeso, welcome to Gwalia Green Games.
Okay, that volume works for me.
Are you looking for your next big adventure in Wales?
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so that works well. So we've got the music in, and we've got effects on our overlay layers. So the final thing we're going to have a look at today is adding video effects, adding new video layers as well. Okay, so to do that, again, I'm going to go into media, and this time I'm going to search for videos. Okay, now you could just look for FX, like that, okay, and scroll through. Okay, and you can see there's loads of really cool stuff in here. Now, I want some kind of muddy spatter thing. So I'm going to just splatter effects. I'm going to type that in, splatter effects. You could just put splatter, but you'll maybe then just get, you know, like videos of stuff. I might have to do that anyway. These are a bit too cartoony, I think. Yeah. So I'm just going to go for splatter and see what I get. Here we go. Right. These look good. Yeah. So loads of, oh, this looks good. This looks like mud splattering, doesn't it? Yeah. Cool. So I'm going to click on that. Bring that in. Okay, so you can see there's that video clip there, but it won't play it further than the end of this scene. Okay, so when we get to the end of the scene, even if this video clip is longer, which it is, you can see, it won't actually play it once we get past this scene. So what I want to do is have a look at this at the moment. Now, at the moment, it's in its own little box here, but let's just have a look at the timing of it.
Shwmai croeso, welcome to Gwalia Green Games.
Cool. Okay. Now, I'm going to overlay that in a bit. But first of all, I just want to look at the timing of it. Now, I think I could have this splatter happen faster. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at, do I want to change the speed of this clip at all? And I do. Okay. So I'm just going to speed it up, take it up to maybe 150. And you'll see then that the actual clip in your timeline becomes shorter because obviously it's speeding up. So then it takes up less time. Okay, so let's try it again. Oops, play.
Shwmai croeso, welcome to Gwalia Green Games. Are you looking for your next big adventure?
Cool. Yeah, that works for me. So come back, click on this. I do need to actually grab the end of that and extend it back out now to the end of the scene. There we go. Okay, so how am I going to get this to blend with the rest of my scene? Okay, well, I want to keep the splatter and get rid of the white. Okay, so that means I can use a blend mode. Okay, if you want to keep the dark and get rid of the white, then you use multiply. If you want to keep the light and get rid of the dark, you use screen. So I want to keep the dark, get rid of the light. So I'm going to click multiply. And it's quite difficult if you see there now. There we are. See if I can now, everything that was dark, those dark splatters, they are still there, but the light background has become transparent. Right, now I want this to fill the screen, so I could just resize it, but there is a button here that just says fit video. Okay, so I can do that. Cool. So,
Shwmai Croeso, welcome to Gwalia Green Games.
all right, now that's really cool, but it is a little bit too much. So I'm just going to bring the opacity down as well there. There we go. I mean, the logo is the most important thing, isn't it? Okay, there we go. And finally, you could have a look at the adjustments. You know, I could try and bring some more colour into that. If I bring some warmth in, some saturation in, that might kind of warm it up a bit. Or your other option is to actually use the duotone filter like you would with an image. So tell you what, let me bring the opacity back up for us to see. So if I go into the duotone filter, okay, well, in the duotone filter, basically you can choose what is light and what is dark. So if I want white to be, there we go. I can go into more colors and I could choose, I could choose a brown for that. Muddy brown, something like that. There we go. Oh, no, it's a bit too red. That one. Yeah, cool. And then I could choose highlights to be kind of a woodland green type of thing. Yes, that looks cool. And now, obviously, then we're going to bring it down to taste. Like that. And you can see now the kind of that brown and green there. And it's all overlaying on top. So if I play it now.
Shwmai Croeso, welcome to Gwalia Green Games. Are you looking?
Yeah, that's really added some texture to that scene. I really like that. Okay, so what about this next one? Okay, what about this next one? What can we add in here? How about adding some nice light effect? Let's get some kind of light shining over this text. So again, I'm in videos here, and I'm going to look for light. Okay, and I just want a nice, cool ray of light, and I think this one might do. That's cool. And remember to hover over these videos because you want movement. Okay, you know it's a video project, so let's get as much movement in here as we can. Yeah, I think maybe that first one was my best option. Those disco lights are cool, but they don't make any sense on a river. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that first one I saw. I think this one. Okay, there we go. So there's my video clip. Okay, and again, I could speed that up if I want. No, you don't need to speed it up. Okay, you don't have to do that at all. So it's there. So I want it to be shining over this text. So maybe I need to flip it both ways. I'm going to flip it vertically and horizontally. There we are. So the light's going to be coming from the bottom corner here. And then let's just fit the video and let's add a blend mode. Okay. And this time I want to keep the light and get rid of the dark. So it's the opposite to what I did with the splatter. So I'm going to use screen mode this time. There we go. Now, can you see what's happened there? It's kind of putting this ray of light across my text. And that is a really cool effect. Now, you could bring the opacity down if you want the effect to be a little bit more subtle. But I actually like that. Yeah, I like that all the way up. I think that looks mega. Right, let's have a look.
Are you looking for your next big adventure in Wales?
Yeah, and it's got a really cool kind of sparkle effect there. That works really nicely. Okay, so what else? What can we put on this one? Okay, you've got loads of options, haven't you? Okay, what about some mist? Let's make this look a bit dramatic. Okay, so let's get some mist. That's cool. That's maybe a bit too much. That's yeah, I'm going to go for that first one, I think. Yeah. Add that in. Fit the video. I want to keep the light and make the dark transparent, so that's screen mode. And that's probably too much, so I'll bring it down a bit. But that is going to add a really cool, misty... Oops, are you going to play?
Come down to Gwalia Green Games to find your Welsh adventure.
Yeah, that works really nicely for me. I'm really happy with that. And when it fades to black, we can actually see a bit of that mist right at the end. And I like that effect. If I didn't like that effect, I could add the animation effect and fade that out as well. But I actually like the fact that we can see that mist just a haze at the end. I think that's really cool. Okay, now then guys, we're out of time for today, but remember, if you're ready to share your video, that's all you need to do is you can click on the share button up here. Publish to web, that'll give you a link that you can paste into Google Classroom or wherever you want to share it, okay? But if you want to copy this video to keep forever in your files, then you can hit download, and 1080p is fine. To be honest, you could drop this to 720. 720 is still officially HD, and your file size will be much smaller, and it'll download much faster as well. So, you could consider maybe using 720 there. Okay, there we are. That's the end of today's session. I hope you've enjoyed this. We've added some higher level skills here in Express to our video project. What have we done? We have added music. We have added overlay video effects. That's what we did finally there. And then we spent the most of today looking at animation effects on our different layered designs. Okay, so I hope you agree that it's really taken our project to the next level. So join in on the next lesson. Come back for the next session where we are going to be doing a shorter animated video. Okay, we're going to be looking at using more graphics this time rather than video content, and that is going to be a load of fun. Okay, we're going to make it like a kind of an Instagram reel kind of advert. Okay, and I think we'll use a vertical video aspect ratio for that one too. Okay, so we're gonna have a lot of fun next week. I think Dom will be back with us as well. We always like having Dom on these sessions because he makes it more fun. All right, anyway, thanks for joining in, and I'll see you next time. Hwyl fawr, bye bye.